Hi everyone, I'm Ava and welcome to my beauty pantry. Today I'm going to talk about the Mojia Hifu 3-in-1. Those of you who are new to my channel, I haven't had any cosmetic procedures and I'm just trying to stick to non-invasive treatments, so using devices to help lift, tone and tighten my skin is what I'm really focusing on. I find if something tends to work for me, or if I feel it's working for me, I'll stick with that device, and as a result I don't have an awful lot of devices. I've got perhaps 3 or 4 different devices. I still have my microcurrent device, which is also from Mojia, and I use that 3 times a week. That device is a device that I first started using and I have really had great results with that. I was excited when Mojia brought out the Hifu 3-in-1, basically because it's 3 modalities in the one device. It's Hifu, radio frequency and EMS. Now these modalities are what I call top guns and what I really need for my skin. I think they're going to help my skin and take it to the next level. So that's why I decided to get the Mojia Hifu 3-in-1. I've also decided to break this video into 3 separate videos. I'll do a video on each of the modalities because I think if I do one video featuring all the modalities and showing you how I use it, it's going to be far too long and I really don't want to bore you to tears. So I'm going to break it up and do 3 separate videos. So if this is something you're interested in, please stick around. Okay, before I get started with my routine, I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of the device, just so that we know how it operates. So this device needs to be powered to the mains power, so you plug it in and then you press the on and off button, which is down here. You press that and hold until it turns on. The LED screen will light up and it will show you the mode that you're in. By default, the mode is Hifu. Up in the corner, you'll see the number 10, and that indicates the timer. So there's 10 minutes to this timer, and then it will automatically turn off. In the corner here, I don't think you can see, but that's the intensity level setting. So the middle button here is to toggle between the modes. So we're currently on Hifu. Press it to RF. Press it again to EMS, and again we'll take you back up to Hifu. The top button is to set the intensity level. It's currently on the lowest by default, and if you press it, it will continue to go up in intensity until you've reached the maximum, and then if you press it again, it goes back to the lowest. Now we've got the head of the Hifu, and you'll be able to see blue lights here. Now these lights indicate what mode you're in. Currently we're in the Hifu mode and the lights are blue. If we go to the RF mode, the lights will turn red and EMS is purple. We have got the oval plate here, and in the center of the oval plate, I don't know if you can see, there's a little divot. Now this is actually where the Hifu comes from. In the RF mode, the oval plate and the 2 side electrode operate the RF. And with the EMS mode, it's only the 2 side electrodes that work for that mode. And that's pretty much it for the quick overview. So before I get on to my routine, it's important to know that you need to use a conductive gel when you're using Hifu. The type of gel that you use is really not that important. You can spend a fortune on a gel that you don't need to wash off, or you can buy a cheaper conductive gel and perhaps you will have to wash that off. It's entirely up to you and your budget. I buy my conductive gel in bulk, and I do this because I find that I go through quite a bit of it when I'm using the Hifu. Also, it's important when you're using Hifu and radio frequency and EMS for that matter to stay away from your thyroid area, so you don't go over the center part here with these treatments. And when I do Hifu, I only do my neck, the sides of my neck, under my chin area and the lower part of my face. That's all I use Hifu on, and I'll explain that more later. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to voiceover so that I can concentrate on doing my routine while at the same time explaining a little bit more about Hifu. I apply the gel using the actual device. I just find it a lot easier to apply the gel this way. So that's what I do. Now, make sure when you're applying the gel to apply a good amount of gel. Don't be stingy with it. And always, always do your treatments on clean, dry skin. So if you haven't washed your face with an oil-free cleanser, go and do it now. Stop the video and go and do that. Turn the device on and select the level of intensity you want. As I've said before, it will automatically default to the Hifu setting, so you just need to select the intensity level. Now, I like to do the hold method, where I hold and count to 3 and then move to the next section and count to 3 again. And I do 3 passes, meaning I'll do this section here. I'll go over the same area 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. With the gliding motion, which I'm doing now, make sure that you glide slowly because you really want that heat to build up. Now, some people do prefer to use the glide method instead of the holding method, because the holding method can get quite hot quickly, and the more passes you do, the more the heat's going to build up. So some people do prefer the gliding method, but you need to glide slowly because you still want that heat to build up. And if you find it's too hot, perhaps turn the intensity down a little bit. As I mentioned before, always start on the lowest level and work your way up. I only do Hifu on my neck, under my chin, jowls and jawline, and there is a reason for this. Hifu is high intensity focused ultrasound that uses focused ultrasound waves in high concentration. Now, these can target layers up to 4.5 millimeters beneath the surface without harming the outer layer. And it does this by heating a specific location for a short time with tiny deposits of focused ultrasound energy. For our face, there are 4 different depths Hifu can target beneath, and these are 1.5 millimeters, which is the epidermis, and this is where fine lines and wrinkles are visible. And then we have 2 millimeters and 3 millimeters, which is the dermis, and this is where collagen and elastin are produced. And lastly, 4.5 millimeters, which is the SMAS layer. Now, this is the most important structure for the face, and it's made up of collagen and elastic fibers. The SMAS is a thin band-like muscle which spans the lower half of the face as well as the neck. Did you know the SMAS is the layer plastic surgeons tighten when doing a facelift? This is why HIFU is an ideal treatment for sagging under the chin, sagging jowls, turkey neck, brow lifting and fine lines and wrinkles. You may have seen professional HIFU machines and they have a number of different attachments. They have attachments for different areas of the face and also the body. The attachments relate to the depth of the HIFU penetration for the different areas. For the body, the depths go much higher, or much deeper I should say. So I'm not sure how effective this device would be on the body, but that's not to say it's not worth trying. This particular device, the Mojia Hifu 3-in-1, as well as the Mini Hifu first generation and the Mini Hifu 2.0 or similar design, only have one depth of focused and targeted delivery, and that is 4.5 millimeters. And that means it reaches the SMAS layer, making it ideal for the lower face, neck and under the chin. But it can't target multiple depths under the skin. It can only target 4.5 millimeters, not 1.5, 2 or 3 millimeters, only 4.5. And I think that's important to know. Some time ago I watched a video on the white Mini Hifu and they said that each level, and they were referring to the level of intensity, meant that it was the depth it penetrated. So what they meant was level 1, the intensity level 1 penetrated 1.5 millimeters, level 2 penetrated 2 millimeters, level 3 penetrated 3 millimeters and so on. Now this is incorrect information. The intensity level has nothing to do with the depth penetration of the HIFU. It reflects how long it takes to heat up to a certain temperature. That's all. The lower levels heat more slowly. So this is the reason why I use HIFU on my lower face and neck, as I want to target the SMAS layer to help lift these areas. That's not to say you can't use it on your upper half of the face, but for me, I don't see the point of using it where my skin is thinner. I feel 4.5 millimeters is too deep for those areas. Well, that's just me. And remember, it's targeted heat, so it goes straight to that area, unlike radio frequency, which is bulk heating. So that's why I choose to use the RF mode on those areas. And that's what I love about this device. I can target different areas with the different modes. I've been using the Hifu 3-in-1 for only 3 weeks and I use it 3 times a week. I know it takes time to see results, especially with home devices, but I do feel there is an improvement already under my chin. I've taken some before pictures, so I'll update again in 3 weeks, which makes it the 6-week mark. The instructions, oh yes, before I forget, the instructions for the Mojia Hifu 3-in-1 are downloadable from the site you purchased your device from. They don't come in the box with the unit. You need to download them. The instructions are detailed and are easy to follow, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. Now they recommend for the first 6 weeks you can use the device 3 times a week for a total duration of 30 minutes each time. It is divided into 10 minutes, and I guess this reflects the 10-minute automatic timer on the device. It makes it easy for you. It's divided into 10 minutes for each mode, which can be used consecutively or on different days. But if you want to use, for example, Hifu for 10 minutes and RF for 20 minutes, that's okay, as long as the total time isn't more than 30 minutes. Of course, how you use it is entirely your own personal preference, as is how many times a week you use it. I'm happy using the Hifu for 10 minutes twice a week and the RF for 10 to 20 minutes 3 times a week. This way I'm targeting 2 depths, the SMAS and also the dermis. I use the EMS 10 minutes 2 to 3 times a week to work on the muscles, and I find this works best for me. But I know there are many thoughts on this topic, and as I said before, it's a totally personal choice and dependent on what your concerns are and the condition of your skin. My routine is 2 times a week for Hifu at 10 minutes each treatment, followed by RF for 15 minutes and EMS for 5 minutes. I use them one after the other. And then once a week I do RF for 20 minutes and EMS for 10 minutes. Now, this is just my routine, and of course you can adapt your own routine to suit your needs. And you can switch the EMS for microcurrent if you want. I still use my microcurrent on the days I don't use a Hifu device. But I'm now able to reduce the microcurrent right down to 10 minutes because I feel that my skin is getting enough of a workout with the EMS. So that's just a guideline of how I use this device. When you've finished your treatment, make sure to clean your device thoroughly. Remove all the gel from the electrodes. You don't want to build up to occur. So I usually just use a damp cloth and make sure that everything's clean, and then I dry it and put it back in the box that it came in to keep it safe. So that was my Hifu routine. It only takes 10 minutes, and I usually section it off, and I'll do 5 or 6 minutes on my neck and under the chin, and the rest of the time divided between my face. But you can adapt it to suit your own needs. I will link the websites in the description below, and I do hope that you have learned something from this. I hope it's been helpful in some way, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you'll be reminded when I upload my next video. And that will be soon, because we need to follow up with the RF and EMS modes. So I hope to see you in my next video, but until then, take care and stay safe. Bye for now.